Good morning. Sorry about that. Good morning. Try again. Today is November 9th, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan, and we are here to practice Wudang Qigong. The year has gone by, so much faster than I wanted it to. I would like it to still be sometime in August, I think. It's November, and we're getting ready to end 2023, start 2024, as I look forward to what is coming next and what I have planned. There are a couple of things that we are going to be paying attention to, and I repeat this frequently, but again, just one more time. The fundamentals that we've been working on, and we're going to continue working on in today's class, Foundations. This concept has more importance than I think is given in a lot of cases, and I talked about this a little bit. Yeah, I want the nice flashy moves and the jump kicks and the this and that. It's not going to be something that you keep into your 90s. I'm not in my 90s yet. But that sense of what do I keep, what my foundations are, what I want to practice, what I'm going to practice. Because if I don't want to practice it, I'm not going to do it, right? All of that combines with what we're actually doing to make up what we practice. So that, what are we actually doing? Well, Qigong class, right? Put this down. And I was thinking about this in the context of other arts. So, Qigong class. For Wudang Qigong, we have certain things that we're going to do, certain things we're probably not going to do. Right? Some things that belong to hard Qigong, not really. That's the kind of Qigong that you hit yourself on the head with a brick. No. I have no interest in doing that. I have none. There are people who have learned that skill. I'm not one of them. It's not what we're doing here. Understanding that difference, that exists over here, we're not doing that, but we are doing this. That concept, what is not, yin and yang, right? Yang is what is, yin is what is not. That connection and that sense of wholeness, that without yin, yang really doesn't exist. The two are essential and connected with each other. So what is not and what is are both part of the same whole. In our Qigong practice, we think about that as a whole, right? This is my two fists together, yin and yang, in the lower dantian. As I'm moving, yin transforms to yang, yang transforms to yin, and that connection circulates in the lower dantian, through the small heavenly circle, and through the large heavenly circle, through the whole body. As we're paying attention to the first exercise this morning, pay attention to not only coordinating the outward movement and the physical breath, pay attention to these three circles. In the lower dantian, the tiny heavenly circle, up the back, down the front, through the Dumai and the Renmai, the small heavenly circle, up the back, through the heels, through the back of the leg, and through back down, through the Yongchuan, the bubbling well just behind the toes in the foot. Set the foot. Ladies, right hand on the outside, gentlemen, the left hand on the outside. Breathe in. And breathe out. Sink. Just a little. Pay more attention to what you're doing inwardly. Pay attention to the small heavenly circle, the tiny heavenly circle, and the large heavenly circle. Breathe, relax, breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. 2 more. Up along the back, down the front. 1 more time. Pull up through the back, keep the shoulders down, and down the front. Breathe in, hands separate, down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in again, and breathe out. Alright, I'm getting some error messages up over here, that's why I was looking over here. It looks like it's okay. As we pay attention, we're going to keep going. As we pay attention to these circles, all 3, okay? So, large heavenly circle, small heavenly circle, and the tiny heavenly circle. Pay attention to all 3. Push to both sides. And we're not going to pay that much attention to the physical aspect of push. So, it's not... right? We don't do that anyway. We might do that. Not today. Today, here, just a little, because the focus should be on the inner breath, on all 3 circles, as the physical breath circulates through the body, so should the internal breath, the chi. Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight, pull up through the crown of the head, breathe in, breathe out. All 3 circles. Push, and return. Nice and easy. Pay attention to the internal work. Pull up through the back, down the front. Breathe in, breathe out. Sink the heel, circulate the breath. Breathe in, up the back, breathe out, down the front. Pay attention to the lower Tantian, the tiny heavenly circle. Breathe in, breathe out. Around the back and around the front. Up the back and down the front. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep the back open. Circulate through the heel, up the back of the leg, around the shoulder, down the front. From the lower tongue up the back, through the 3 gates, and down the front. Return to the lower tongue. In the lower tongue, circulate up the back, around the back, and around the front. Full circle. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time. Pay attention to the large circle, small circle, and the tiny circle. Again, the large circle, small circle, and the tiny circle. Center. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. It takes a little bit of practice. We're going to do one more set. It takes a little bit of practice to pay attention to all 3 circles, pay attention to the breath, and pay attention to what we're doing in the movement. It does. That is part of foundation work. It's not separate. It's not, and it's not really, it is and it isn't. I'm going to say it this way. It's a good analogy for today. Okay, it is foundation work and it isn't foundation work. All right. So in traditional practice, within the canon of literature about Qigong, most people who can read Chinese and who want to practice Qigong have read quite a few books about what is Qigong and what is Qi and how it's developed and what we do with it and all these other things that belong with practice. They absolutely belong with our practice. It's part of the canon of literature. In the West, we've got about this much. It's this much over here, and we got maybe this much. That difference is a distinction that I've made repeatedly, and it needs to be repeated again. All right? So, if I've grown up in this culture, if I've grown up with all of these stories, if I've grown up with this canon of literature, then I'm not surprised that I need to pay attention to all of this internal work because it's part of the literature. It's already there. We know about it, okay? If you don't include it, there's something missing. Over here, we don't have that. And sometimes and it's my own experience now, sometimes what I thought was much more advanced work was foundation. It was something that was fundamental. It wasn't a huge gap, but it was something that I looked at as originally foreign. Tantien, what's that? What is it? Is it spelled T-A-N or is it D-A-N? And what's it mean? Lower Tantien. What is that? What is Qi? What does all this mean? As we develop the skills, as we develop that understanding, which, if you've grown up in the culture, you've already kind of had, because everybody talks about it, right? As we develop that understanding, we need to be conscious of that difference, that there's quite a bit that's not available in English. And as I'm trying to teach, as I'm working through some of these concepts that are foundation, they're fundamental to what we're practicing, there is a part of my own learning and my own understanding of those concepts that comes from what I did. Maybe complete? No, probably not. I'm willing to venture that out of all of this canon of literature, there's a whole bunch of it that I did not look at. So my understanding comes from what I've done, what I learned from my teachers, and what I learned by being associated with my teachers. So their understanding, I might not know what they know, but I can still recognize that this person considers this concept to be a fundamental thing. It's not an advanced level thing, it's you need to know this, right? Understanding that is what's given me a lot of the insights that I have to my own practice. As we do this last set in the turning palm, with the same idea, small heavenly circle, right? The tiny heavenly circle and the large heavenly circle as we're moving, so that everything is connected, that we're paying attention to this internal workmanship, that we are paying attention to the fundamentals. Breathe in, breathe out, circulate the physical breath, circulate the qi, circulate the internal breath. Pay attention to each of the circles independently and together. Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head, shoulders down and relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. Small movement. Breathe in, breathe out. Pay attention to the internal work. Connect the breath with the movement. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, up the back, down the front. Breathe in, breathe out. A large heavenly circle through the heel, up the back, and down the front. Breathe in, breathe out. Small heavenly circle, up the back, and down the front. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Pay attention to the lower Tantien, this tiny heavenly circle. The around the back, and around the front. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax the breath, up the back, and down the front. Pay attention to the tiny heavenly circle. As you breathe, it turns. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. Relax through the lower back. Focus inwardly. 2 more. Breathe in, pull up through the back. Breathe out, down the front. Breathe in, breathe out, up the back, down the front. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Hands down on both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. We're going to stop with this today. The idea that we've got all of the circulation going on inwardly as we're doing this outward, relatively simple movement. It is, right? Each time we are able to connect that internal circulation with the external movement. It's practice. That's why we're doing it, right? The more closely that movement can be connected with all three working at the same time, the greater the benefit to the whole body, and the easier it is to start moving the internal energy, both, and not the internal breath, the internal energy. Jing Bu Shi Qi, right? So some people may translate Qi as internal energy. It's possible. I looked at that at one point. Jing is energy. In Tai Chi we talk about Fa Jing, sending out the energy. Jing. You have to be able to circulate it before you can send it out. That is part of this process of developing that internal circulation. If we pay more attention to the lower Tantian, it's not just one circle, it's 2. I'll talk about that again maybe tomorrow. That is a little bit more advanced concept. It's fundamental for what Professor Lute taught, but it is a little bit more advanced concept. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. And tomorrow, advanced class.